Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Oh, man. Tell you one thing, this has been one wild week, and it's only Wednesday. I mean, what would the bizarreness happening at the day job, and then all of a sudden, like, come on out of that, and then you go and you do your life's work, and even then there's some bizarreness there, too. But hey, it's just a good old Brady Luck just swimming around. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I've been through abnormal crap before, and I'm going to go through it for the rest of my days. Loving it. I'm sort of half asleep right now, but I know what tonight is, and I know that we got some loose ends to follow up on because it's not Jamiversary anymore, but it is Wednesday night, and Wednesday night belongs to, well, let me just go ahead and say it for old time's sake. Welcome to the J-Man Show here on J360 Radio.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
As easy as pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop-off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
Can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are you all doing? Welcome to the J-Man Show. I'm J-Man, of course, and here we are for episode 212. And I'm going to tell you, it feels so good to be here. Especially doing the show that started it all and just going ahead. It's like saying hello to an old friend. And, you know, we're going back to basics on this one. Even though I've never been basic and I am not average, to say the least. But I'm just really, really happy to be here, guys. Like, tonight is the night to follow up on a few things. And, man, I can tell you, like, when sabbatical came around, like, you know, I took the time to really get used to things and think of where I'm going to be taking this show. And like I said before, I'm on the road to 300. I'm not stopping. And even then, 500 would be, like, it, I would like to say. But then again, you never know, because I just love doing this show. You know how you have, like, a good pair of shoes? Like, you know, you get, like, a new pair of shoes, but you always have those kicks that you wear on your off days. You always have, like, those favorite kicks, I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, when you, like, got your day off and you're just chilling out and stuff like that, and you slide them on, and it's just still stylish no matter what. That's what the J-Man Show is. Test the time, I say. And I just love everything about it. You know, especially since the other shows are getting up in momentum right now. And, you know, like, everything that I want to do, like the Great Leap Forward and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, stuff's coming my way, man, and I'm enjoying every opportunity about it. And I love how, like, the fan base is growing, because shout outs to the J360 Legion always, because you guys are important. And then I love how the Jam fam is growing, because it is Jams Week this week. And not only that playlist is shaping up to be really, really formidable. Oh, also, I got some more artists that I need to talk to, so I'll be doing that tomorrow. And we got some things to look forward to, I guess, in the weekend as well. Or no, is that my time to sleep? Yeah, it might be my time to sleep. But hey, I digress. So let's get into it. Jeff Bezos flew himself up in a giant tampon not too long ago for 5 minutes. Isn't it cute? Like now all the billionaires are like, hey, we need to go ahead and get prepared on our space travel. I mean, Branson did it not too long ago. I don't mind him too much. You know what I mean? Even though I'm sure there's some stuff with him that I've yet to uncover, but he's just always been around. Whereas like with Jeff Bezos, you kind of think about the Amazon practices and all the stuff that went on while, he was still running that. Now he's not really running it anymore, but he still gets a check. That's the thing about old Bezos. But it's like there are people that love him, and then there are people that hate him. And then there's quite a lot of people that have actually thrown around a petition to go ahead and tax him because of this. I mean, I think they all should be taxed, to be honest with you. But, hey, like I said, the government ain't doing right by that. But, if you're like me, you're carrying this country one way or another. You're carrying it not only in blood, sweat, and tears, but taxes too. Because you are the working class stiff. It's amazing, though. Of course, there's a lot of people out there in the 1% that don't understand that. But, a lot of people inspired to be them, and you see it on Instagram or social media all the damn time. It's funny. It's just really, really funny, and it's sad at the same time. Damn near pathetic, even. But, I've been going through that a lot lately, seeing things in the community that I am around in. Like from some people in the filmmaking community that are opposers, and then other people in the podcasting community that are opportunists and gatekeepers. Just like those that tried to add me not too long ago. Even though you can kind of tell, let me just tell you this. A lot of people try to tell me what a nice individual I am. Damn, okay. Let me just tell you this. I'm a good person. And that's really going to help this argument much. But you know how I am when I get to a certain point. And the truth is, that's anybody. But when it gets right down to it, there's quite a lot of people in the podcast community I'm not hanging with. I'm telling you that right now. Especially those that actually, like some of them that followed me recently were pretty good. But this one particular podcast, a movie podcast, but there's like a billion of them. Their names are not even worth mentioning. You know what I'm saying? Because those tactless individuals had no business. When I tried to connect with them before, they were like, are you a fan of the show? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, excuse me? When a couple of months ago, these same people were like, oh my God, when you get that crossover show ready, we'd like to make an appearance and all that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's nice. And see, this is how you realize, when certain people didn't have their views and didn't have their downloads up there at that time. Whereas me, myself, I stay relatively the same. Because I just know how really, really trash the human race can be sometimes. And I'm just like, I always look at this and I'm like, yeah, I give you the sus eye at that point because something is up. But when I went ahead and I talked to these people because I had Hangouts ready, and I was like, hey, let's go ahead and do some booking. They seemed interested. And then at that moment, I got to see pretty much why you don't really need to work with people. And I was really disgusted right there on Twitter. And then I was like, you know what? Okay. Maybe it's a different kind of day. Because I need to see where that mindset is. But then, I follow him on Twitter, and then the thing about Twitter is, with the shows that are here, Twitter and all that kind of stuff is a big part of the marketing, as it should be. Because if I wasn't using it for J360 Productions, I wouldn't be on this crap. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I'm there. That's the only frame of reference why I'm on damn social media in the first place. Because it's trash in the shows. Some of y'all go a little too haywire on different things. But let's get back to the story. So as I'm on I am going through Instagram and all that stuff, some of y'all get links for the shows when I do them, which by the way is marketing. That's all it is. I'm not asking you to fill out a credit card slip. I'm not asking you for entitlements so that I could go ahead and get a free run of things. I'm not doing that because you know why? Because I'm astute enough to get it on my own. But some people think that they're a little up here when they're really not. You understand what I'm saying? They think they're up to that elitist stuff where it's like, oh, what's that link? Why'd you send me this? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, cause idiot, it's J360 Productions, and I'm running a business. You talk about trying to help people, but you don't apply a damn thing. See, that's the thing about other content creators and stuff. Like, you owe them something. It's like this. Guess what? It's not easy doing this kind of stuff, especially with algorithms and stuff like that. But I already told them that they can take their algorithm and cram it. So I'm busting and working hard on every single one of these damn programs I got because, hey, they're all pretty good, which is what you all should technically be doing instead of be like, please like my stuff. Please save my stuff so you can help me get through the algorithm. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, shoot, it's fight night, bitch. Let's do this. That's me. That's the only difference between you and me. See what I'm saying? And the crazy stuff about it is when people come out of the woodwork and try to tell you about how you market. Don't tell me about how I market. I've been at this for damn near over 5 years. I know how to market, and I do it well. But I also know, like, what you pay for and stuff like that could be helpful, but at the same time, robs you blind. Facebook marketing will rob you blind if you do not know how to play this stuff right. Do you understand? And then you'll probably see a couple of, blips on the grid. But the thing about it is you won't see as much as you ought to see. And like some people are like, should have started it way back when. I don't give a damn about the past at this point. I live for the present so I can build my future, which is why J360 Productions is my future, and I work that much harder on it, and I go hard for myself every time. And as you should, when you promote, like I said, I play the game 5 times strong, and that's what I do. So as I go about that, that's my hustle. That's my hustle you're trying to go ahead and be, gatekeeping with. So you're already, middle finger up at this point. You understand what I'm saying? The thumb's coming in a few minutes. Because this moron decides to say, well, it's my 2 cents to go ahead and say, I said, you take your 2 cents and shove it up your ass. I don't give a damn what you say. How I market is how I market. How you market is fine. Whatever. You probably have the means to do it. I don't. I go ahead and I use what I have. And that makes me a little bit more resourceful, and I get the job done, and my views and everything else are very strong and growing. But I don't act like a douche about it. You understand what I'm saying? But that jerk right there deserved every bit of it. And then, during the pod lift, which, by the way, this is another reason why I don't do FF parties anymore. I used to do them all the time. I don't do them anymore because people don't appreciate anything. And while we're on the subject here, I get a little too busy anyway, so I'm never really on Twitter on Fridays like I ought to be. Unless I'm doing jams. And even then, I'm doing jams. So I'm pretty busy at that time. But when it get right down to it, that particular individual, or whoever the hell is running that page, obviously didn't know about me, because here's the thing. They tried to add me. So I went ahead and I decided to go ahead and give them the best response possible. An image of some guy being shoved in the dumpster, because that is exactly where they belong, right there with Oscar the Grouch. But even then, Oscar's too classy for that, and probably throw your behind out of there too into another dumpster, probably with a fire in it. Because that's just the way, that's where some people in these creative communities and outlets belong. And if it ain't the ones in the independent side, it's the ones in the mainstream media side. Because there is no reason for this kind of behavior. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's business started as a dream, and then when you try to make that dream real, it's about the hustle. And then 9 times out of 10, the hustle is usually you by yourself. You would think your staff would be there helping you from time to time, and they will, but you got to go a little bit harder, because guess what? You own it. And see, the thing is, as I own it and as I keep moving forward, I'm always humble, yes, but I always know how really, really screwed up this country is, and our society and our social climate and everything else. Everybody's in it for something, and then at the same time, what's in it for me? Well, you know what? You could help me on this whole endeavor, and I would return the favor. But if you're going to be a douche, or you're going to act like, oh, well, I can go ahead and fight you, Jay. Well, let me tell you one thing. You're going to be in for one hell of a battle, and you're going to be bruised up and unrecognizable when I'm done, because I'm just ready to jump dead off in somebody's ass sometimes. Actually, no, scratch that. All the time. I'm always ready. I can't stand people sometimes when they go that far. And it don't make no sense. It's unnecessary and it's uncalled for. So, to those particular individuals, up yours. As far as I'm concerned. Don't add me. If you didn't like me from the beginning, but now you see where my shows are going and stuff like that, and think, oh, this is my way I can wedge on in, no. The ship has sailed. Your ass is behind. Stay there. Because I'm not coming back. Nothing's coming back to go get you. You understand what I'm saying? And please, please, please let me know. Because I'll happily tell you about yourself. You understand? Yeah. So, that's how I feel about other creators out here. And I just always think this, you know what? It's just a party I don't need to go to. It's not arrogance, it's just the way people are. You understand what I'm saying? Should have liked me from the get. Not only that, when I try to work with certain individuals and then like I try to plan like crossover events with them and stuff like that, and they get on their period just because they didn't get a certain outcome the way they wanted to, I don't want to work with you then either. I got my own damn stuff. I always did and I always will. So that's why, like, you don't hurt me. But I will tell you this much, though. This is the perfect time to segue into how mainstream media is just ridiculous. Look, a new He-Man idea is great, right? Like, remember He-Man, like, the original show? I don't know if you've watched it at different times. I didn't watch it, like, in 1983, because I wasn't born at the time. But, you know, like, there was a retro channel here in Delaware that would show it, you know, around, like, 1989 and all. And I managed to catch the show then. And I used to love that series because of the music, because of the backgrounds. I mean, some of the fight scenes were kind of cheesy, but it was a kid's show, and it was made by Filmation. You know, one of the, I mean, you could say what you will about Filmation sometimes, but they managed to put on a pretty good show, even though you could tell that they try to cut corners on different things, and have. But it was just interesting, you know, and I always loved the aesthetics of that series, and the action figures weren't too bad. But it also came down to this, okay? There's a fact that there was a reboot of it. I remember there was a second series, but we won't talk about the 90s series. It's whatever with that. Even though I had the sword and I used to swing that thing around all the time. But nah, the heck with the 90s series. There was a series reboot of it in 2002. And, you know, it was nice. It was pretty good from what I saw. Like, the action sequences, the aesthetics were there. Some of the humor was there, but it was definitely action-oriented. And, like, I just loved catching it on Toonami when it was on there. But then there was a moment where it wasn't on the time slot anymore, and they did like a second set to it, but nobody really saw it. It was moved on to like a time where people were in school, and you know, I never could catch it. So, and that's a damn shame, because that's how you kill a franchise or a series, by doing something like that. But, you know, I fondly remember it. You know, the same thing could be said about the Thundercats reboot. But, you know, the reason why I'm saying all this stuff is because, oh, great, you know, fanboy of all fanboys, Kevin Smith is behind the production of this latest remake of it, or a continuation, if you will, spiritual continuation, whatever the hell they want to call it. But it's called, like, Masters of the Universe Revelations. And, you know, or Revelation, I should say. But, yeah. I mean, like, the way they got it all figured out and all that kind of stuff, like, this is the continuation, but you see, we're gonna see like King Grayskull, we're gonna see like Teela actually become a dominant force in the show, and I'm like, wait, Teela wasn't a dominant force in the show? Teela did quite a lot of shit that He-Man did. I mean, if we remember correctly, she wasn't always like a damsel in distress. She was an action badass. She was in it just as much as he was. She was, you know, Man-at-Arms' adopted daughter. I mean, like, let's just be honest. You can't be any sort of family to that guy if you're not kicking ass, too. Let's just say that. Especially in the comics. So she was always a dominant force. But then again, like, some people, when they get the chance to work on these reimaginings and these reboots and all that stuff, I remember now, we're so woke these days. There's a problem to be solved. It's just like how that writer of She-Hulk decides to bemoan and throw all of her problems with men out there on the internet all the time. Whereas at the same time, it's like she doesn't know a damn thing about She-Hulk. I mean, in the same way, it's like, you know, Kevin Smith doesn't know anything about He-Man. He's even on record multiple times saying he's not a fan of He-Man, but people are behind Kevin Smith. And I'm not going to say, like, he's not a great filmmaker, and I'm not going to say, like, he's not all that stuff. I mean, a lot of y'all watch his town hall films and all the times where he talks about it and stuff like that. Well, you know, it's kind of the same, whereas, like, you're listening to a podcaster talk about their circumstances and their problems after a while. And however you go about your fandom with him, entirely up to you. But the whole thing with this He-Man stuff is a mess. Because, one, plans to kill off Orko, which is stupid. And then, like, when people come up and try to say, like, you know, we're race-swapping characters because my diversity, we have to go ahead and do all these things. The way they're going about it, they're resorting to tokenism. Like, one form of each and every single character. And then not only that, you're going to kill off Orko because allegedly he was babyish and stuff, which doesn't make any damn sense because, you know, the man that produced that cartoon series, he actually voiced Orko, and Orko was his favorite character, and Orko more or less was like the mascot of the show. And yes, his magic didn't work right all the time, but there were times where he was about due and he could actually follow through in a pinch. He just had to believe in himself. But once again, I actually watched the damn series, whereas other people did not. The people that are somehow working in the production of these shows that come right down the pipeline through Netflix, through any of these damn streaming networks that you and I hold dear to ourselves, even though I'm willing to let a lot of them go. Every time they come through here, there has to be some sort of stupid narrative to it. It has to be like some sort of wokeness here that's never, ever, ever going to be resolved. It's to the point where it's like, you know, guess what? Who the hell wanted this damn production in the first place? I mean, yeah, you already had me sold, but now the rest of it and the cracks are starting to appear, and it don't make no sense, and you don't really need, and it's not just about Orko getting killed off, but guess what? The main person who this is supposed to back is getting sidelined. It don't make no sense. Like, nobody's talking about, like, what He-Man's going to be doing in this thing. Nobody's talking about what Skeletor is going to be doing in this thing. But, you know, Teela's going to take center stage, and that's fine. But at the same time, she has taken center stage in a lot of the old series episodes. This is nothing new. Stop beating a dead horse and just trying to go ahead and shove it down our throats and stuff. That's just akin to the same as saying, pissing on all of us and telling us it's raining. This stuff is ridiculous from time to time. You know? Like, females can do everything. No stuff, man. Yeah, I almost did. I almost cussed. No kidding. They can do anything, and they always have been able to. Who is sitting here? Let me just ask you all this. If I could only grab the public and, like, look at the public right in the eye while I'm choking it and saying, who made this rule, huh? And why are your ears so damn big you had to take all of that in instead of listening to a rational conversation? You understand what I'm saying? Like, really take a good long look at yourself. None of this stuff's going to be solved. Not through the He-Man show. Not through that She-Ra show, which was pretty stupid, by the way. Not through any of those MCU shows or anything. Somebody out there really went through something and really got hurt by somebody growing up that started to act this way. And instead of just giving you escapist entertainment, because real life is a pill sometimes, you know, just like when I was half asleep, I'm wide awake now because I'm pissed. Sort of. That stuff's been there for a while because the same thing can go on about, like, critical race theory. Yeah, talk about racism in America, huh? I don't know if you should tell it to the kids that much, but, you know, when you get about, like, guess what kids do, right? Kids grow up. When you get about the 8th grade and up into high school time, that's time to really learn the real stuff. You understand? Stop hiding this crap. Be accountable. You know? And then maybe then we could actually go somewhere. And the same thing with all this stuff around here. Well, you know, we just don't feel like that in the society, Jay. We just don't. Oh, yeah, you don't feel like it, right? Yeah, you don't feel like it because you're embarrassed. See, I could care less. I could go ahead and do something else. It's just like when somebody asked me, oh, yeah, Jay, did you see Space Jam 2? Yeah, I took a look at it. Did you see the whole thing? It doesn't matter. I saw it. And let me tell you this. I've noticed that people get mad at, like, when Porky Pig was doing the rap battle and stuff. I guess because, you know, he's Dare we say it, but he's the other white meat, and he's over there pretending to be the notorious B.I.G. when he's the notorious P.I.G. I thought it was clever, because you know why? Because at the end of the damn day, regardless of what color Porky is, he's a damn cartoon. You know what I'm saying? They're cartoon characters. This isn't real life. This isn't anything pertaining, just like a lot of 30-year-olds throwing stones at this movie. Like, I would go ahead and tell you whether it was a good movie or not, but no, I'm not going to do that crap. You figure it out your damn self. Because you know why? A long time ago, I didn't think there needed to be a Space Jam 2. Hell, I'm still trying to question Space Jam 1. Let's just be honest. All right? For real. Michael Jordan's not a good actor, much in the same way that LeBron James isn't a good actor. But there is a charisma there when they're doing what they do best in basketball. And ever since ESPN came with that whole thing about, could LeBron James take on Michael Jordan in his prime, we done gone crazy with this stuff. Like, I think LeBron's great for this new era of basketball. But in my time growing up, Michael Jordan and the rest of the Bulls, that was the team to beat. Those guys were tough. And I think Scottie Pippen's about to release a tell-all even after The Last Dance and all that kind of stuff, because allegedly Michael did him dirty. So, yeah, there's still some history behind that stuff that, oh, now we got to hear about all the cracks and stuff in that too. Wild, ain't it? One of the greatest dynasties in the league of all time, but hey, I digress. Anyway, back to Space Jam and stuff. If you want to watch the damn movie, then watch the damn movie, but don't expect much. You know, it's LeBron James playing in a semi-digital world of basketball with the Looney Tune characters. And not only that, it's not even just the Looney Tune characters. It's like this big love letter to WB. It's like the WB is saying, hey, guess what? We messed up with a lot of our films, especially the DC movies. So guess what? Take a look at all of these characters we got running through here. You remember them, right? The nostalgia is here. They did more fan service and the trailers leading to that about as much as Ready Player One. Remember Ready Player One? And then Iron Giant had to make an appearance in there too. And both of them. It's like, what the hell do you even expect? I mean, are you expecting anything great? Because I wasn't. So I decided to leave. You know what I mean? I decided to look at it, take my leave. Same thing with Mortal Kombat. Because they didn't do that right either. And then I think about the most that they did right, to be honest with you. And this is strictly an opinion. Which, by the way, that's usually how it goes. Whether a movie is good or bad or not is based on you or my opinion and the $10 to $15 we pay to go see that BS. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, you're going to go ahead and write about it on your blog. You talk about it in your own podcast. Me, I'm talking about it on here because guess what? You know, I just don't give a damn. But to be honest, though, it's all up to you on that one. I didn't expect much. Matter of fact, if it was on cable, I'd just click right through because whatever, you know? Though it was nice to see the Looney Tunes again, but who knows? They'll probably never get another feature again because, once again, they got sidelined in a movie with them. But then again, it wasn't really about them entirely, you know? This happened before. It was called Looney Tunes Back in Action. So, you know, it's just another unnecessary vehicle that was perpetrated by those that were involved in the stuff, and nobody wanted this thing. Nobody in the 30s wanted it, but I'm sure, like, if there's young kids out there that love LeBron, they probably will go see it. And that's up to them. It ain't up to us. There's bigger and better things to talk about. And until some people actually make some movies, like nowadays, you know, it's easy to make, like, people say cinema's dead, or to go ahead and they say, like, music making's dead, this is dead. Shut the hell up. All right? Shut up. Try that for a change. Yeah, that's right. Shut up. You made your point. Things are dead to you. Now go on ahead and have your funeral and leave it at that. But the rest of us out here, this stuff's very much alive. It's just like, you know, nobody's playing music anymore. They just use, like, computer programs to go ahead. Computer programs? How's that any different? You can use that with real instruments, too. Like, I'll never understand this stuff, man. Why something gotta die to you? It's always like this. Somebody gotta be on their little blog post at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then they done got like the worst damn cute cup of coffee ever. Sit there and decide to go ahead and type up something and go ahead and say, oh yeah, this is bad to me because. And every single one of these journalism outlets are guilty of this crap. I mean, I could go ahead and write that stuff, but if I worked for them, they'd probably be like, oh, Jay, you too harsh on them. You know, you got to rate this stuff from good to excellent, which, by the way, hey, way to go. Way to be a bunch of punks by not taking the hits. Isn't that something? You know, when you're in the independent game, you got to take every hit known to man. But if you're in the mainstream media, oh, my God, they will protect you if you a darling, especially if you're all about jobbing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, they'll protect you from here to everything else. Oh, you can't talk about it like that. No. You can't talk about my correspondent like that. No. Protection is one thing, but coddling is something else. When you write about this kind of stuff and somebody has a retort to that, or somebody has any of these things that need to be said, hear them out. It's not going to hurt you any one way or another. And if you can't take that kind of stuff, you're in the wrong business. You understand? And this is where we are. Bunch of coddling punks. Pandering one way. Coddling the other way. And then, at the end of the day, think you can still talk trash. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Be real about this stuff. See, there are people like me that fight tooth and nail to make changes in their lives because we can change this industry. We can make this industry a little bit better than what it's turning into. Because wokeness ain't doing a damn thing. We need to get back to real stories, and we need to get back to telling that story and being daring enough to get it done. And then just making it happen. Be as ambitious enough. Take chances. Think outside the box. Have a little bit of fun. And if the character has to be female, cool. If the character has to be non-binary, whatever. But in 3 acts, I'd like to see their old life change into a new life, and I have to care. You understand? And I'm speaking as pretty much a writer, a cinematographer, an actor, a director, any parts of film that you can think of, even as the lighting guy. It just doesn't make sense anymore, what we do nowadays and what we complain about. And then like how we all try to lump together because, oh, you got to have something to get something, stuff like, it just gets on my nerves. Like, for real, here we go again. And then you wonder like where the light at the end of the tunnel is. See, I don't see my career stopping anytime soon because the only one that has control over that is me. I could go ahead and I could just stop all this stuff, prop my feet up, stay planted in Delaware, and don't do anything. I could. I mean, I done did almost everything else right now. But I won't. Because I'm not done yet. I got plenty of stuff to do. And I'm taking the rejections as much as I'm taking the successes, and I'm going for everything. And there's not a damn thing cancel culture or even you pussified people out there can do about it because I said so. And you know what? There are a lot of other people out there just like me who are tired of this BS and we're ready to take it over. And it needs to be done. And let me just say this, not saying that as just a man, but saying that as a person that is a creator. Because there are female creators out there too that don't believe in any of this nonsense going on, and they're ready to take their shots. There are non-binary people out there that don't believe in this crap and willing to do it. There are gay people out there, same thing. Willing to take their shot. And those that are actually in the mainstream shouldn't be out here hiring these hacks in the first place. You know, with me, they'll go ahead and they'll look at my resume. They'll look at my portfolio. They'll go ahead and they'll send me a rejection letter out. But I'm a person of color. If I ran on my merit like that, I could go ahead and say like, oh, yeah. You're discriminating me. You're not giving me the chance and stuff like that. Well, we just don't think that you have the skills. No. Still at the same time, because I am a person of character, you should let me in. I could have done that. But I didn't want to. What's the point? I bust my ass. I work hard on all of my materials and stuff. But I also realize life doesn't owe me a damn thing, but I'm going to punch harder the next time. And the next time. And the next time till I get in there. And by then, they already know my name at that point. Been here this long. Tired of this nonsense. Screw you and your wokeness. I'm here. You don't like me being here? Well, up yours then. I'm here until it's time for me to go. I ain't going anytime soon, except up. So I aim for better. And I have to play the game 5 times stronger. So, like, when I hear people on there, stuff like that, I'm like, are you finished? That's the number one thing I say all the time. Are you finished? Because it's time for me to go ahead and do my show. Which, by the way, you're listening to it right now. And if it's your first day here, hi, I'm J-Man. And this is the world I live in. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I could go on ahead and talk about, like, COVID vaccinations, but as things are starting to spike up and Delta variant's a thing, you already know that, so I'm not going to go ahead and hit you with that one. But there's quite a lot of work that needs to be done, and truth be told, unlike certain people that'll go and tell you, oh, I'm going to get it done, I'm going to get it done, I ain't saying nothing no more, man. You just stay tuned and you watch. All right? Because I think I already sent out the link to my Clubhouse soon, which, by the way, yeah, that's only because, like, Discord's not ready yet, but at the same time, you might want to pay attention to both of them because, hey, much like Jams and Hangouts, things alternate. But here's the thing, to reiterate, I'm not done yet. I'm sick of the way things are, and I'm going to go ahead and start making some changes. And I'm going to bust my ass doing it. And you might get a real good show and see how I go about this kind of stuff because, yeah, things need to get done. And I say this for other content creators out there, the ones that are really, really doing the creating and not just going ahead and chiming up on the social media and stuff. We're going to win this one, but we got to unite as a tribe. Get my drift? But hey, it's all about how you want to feel, but I already made my decision. So, that's all I got for you guys tonight when it comes to this. I know Jams will be coming along on Friday, and I think the power play is happening on Thursday. Yeah, most likely. So, I'll see you guys around the same time at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And this is J-Man signing off. Peace.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.